Hello everybody and welcome back to the Uncharted Frontier, the KSP series, where we will be exploring the real solar system quarter scale. Last episode we finished off by sending crew to space, and this one I think we're going to start off by, well, just reconditioning our launch pad and checking our upgrades. I don't know if we have any. We do, we have two available, so let's put one to the VAB, and let's put the other into R&D. So now we get a good amount of stuff. And we're buying improved thrusters, it appears. So that should be done by the end of 61, I think. Yep. Oh yeah, MagSat is still there. That's interesting. Well, how about we finish up researching some tech? It'll definitely take longer to roll out a new vehicle, so, well, let's see what we can't build, I guess, and mess around in the VAB for a bit. So it appears that we have access to a lot more than we usually do, so Bravo's on I think we might actually go back to the moon. That was LunarCom 1 was inconclusive on what its goal was, but I think a new mission could benefit us very much so on what we have for here. So let's actually let's grab this fairing if it'll let us, and open it. There we go. Now we can see the inside of the fairing perfectly. Now what I'm seeing here is we have some spider liquid fueled engines, some solar panels, an antenna. And there's probably one more experiment on here, but that one doesn't even do anything we acknowledge. So we're gonna try something new, and what that new thing is it's actually built for this lander, funny enough, a surveyor camera unit. Now let's see if it still fits within the payload restriction, which it does not, so we can just kind of get it to work its way into this lander's overall design, which is fine. We do need better control of the spacecraft. That's been made apparent. So I think we could benefit from adding some control thrusters along the side of the spacecraft, just for safety reasons. We'll locate them, 3 of them, right above the engines. Make sure they're positioned correctly. Like that, I think. Yeah, that looks good. And now there's one above each engine. Now this would be LunarCom 2. And we definitely have upgrades to what we're working with here. Like, instead of an E1, could probably swap it out for something better. I'm hoping we have something better than an E1 at the moment. Here, let's look around. See, I don't know if we actually do, huh? How odd. I don't even actually see the others. The E1, the H1 is not better than the E1, so no to that. Do you have an A7 Block 4? Because I feel that could be good. Here, what's this compared to? E1. Yeah, this one's much better. So LunarCom 2 will be inserted into orbit around the Earth, and then later on the moon. So LunarCom 2 will start its production now. Alright, and just while that's being built, we might want, what was MagSat? MagSat was it was a magnetic observer, I think. Yeah, that's alright. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, it's guidance. Okay, well, we just need science for some better crewed explorations. So I think we're gonna start to modify our crewed vehicle, which was Horizon 1. And Horizon 1 was decently successful for what it had to do, but arguably could have done it a bit more efficiently. With that said, I think we want to put crew in orbit instead of just, yay, we put something in orbit, just wasn't crewed. See, so I think we need to work on actually getting a crewed mission to orbit, and for that, I think we need a better vehicle design. What kind of vehicle, you may ask? I don't know, maybe an L1LV could push this thing to an orbit. It has the structural plumbing for it, so that's gonna be our base, and that's gonna, see, it has, I'm gonna quote has, in quotations, the structural build for it. Not very efficiently, granted, but yeah, it's not even a separator, it's just a, here, I'll paint it even, just so it's, I don't actually, it's very odd, why does it have a slider? It's one of the, okay, well that explains it. But, okay, that's an interesting looking vehicle. We can get some better exploration off of that. Send a new Kerbal up. I guess Valentina can take this one, but she'll need an actual spacesuit this time around, so we'll give her an EMU Type B. And no, we'll use the Apollo suits, because we're in that era of exploration. I guess, early 60s, so that's our, that's Horizon 2 right there. The first Orbital crew. Okay, that's, well, it's an interesting looking vehicle, for one. Should allow EVAs, but science. Well, what do we take with us? An infrared spectrometer. Why not? Watch this be one of the experiments that doesn't work. If it is, oh well, it's fine, but we'll start construction of Horizon 2. And hopefully that will bring us to development of a newer vehicle afterward. So I'm thinking something that can actually maintain orbit for long amounts of time. Not that we have life support preventing us, but I'd rather have vehicles that are ready for that. So we will have, yeah, Lunacom's always going to be ready first, just because of our secondary time. Here, we're just going to make it morning for a nicer launch in February of 1962. We're getting oddly close to 63, which should have been our first attempts at advanced lunar exploration, but only getting our second probe to the moon today, and it is 62, so hopefully it is more successful than last time. Last time we had some rotation issues on our thrusters. We had some just basic issues on landing in general. I mean, I have not played RSS in a long time. I forget how good it looks. So we will just continue our ascent profile as usual. Again, everything should, yeah, so we're going to make that auto deploy altitude 80 kilometers, because that's where it really should be. And as we witness this launch, I don't want to say I've gotten better at KSP, I've just gotten more use to the RSS way of flying things, Because in regular Kerbal Space Program, when you're flying anything of decent height, it won't flip upon leaving the atmosphere. It'll just continue going, but RSS actually challenges that quite well, which is something I enjoy. Even in quarter scale, I might do a real scale something eventually, but quarter scale is pretty nice for what I'm trying to do. Okay, and then we skim off the boosters and continue. Okay, and now we can just sit around for a moment and wait for our apogee to bring us to a state far above the Earth's surface. Vanguard 1 and 2 are still in orbit. Very surprised by that. Oh god, how much? Oh, that's going to be annoying once we get out to the moon, because those are going to be our main RCS controllers. I want to find something that noise suppressed, because I could see how it would be annoying to hear my keyboard so much, especially because I do have a quite a loud keyboard compared to the one I used to have, at least before I started this series during my very long break from YouTube. But we're back, and I'd say better than we were doing before. So we're just going to extend our antenna and prepare for our lunar departure, which should be very equatorial orbit actually today. I'm just realizing we should have a beautiful encounter with the moon, or not. Well, I would say we tried for a good encounter, but I don't even think we did that. Here, I think we can get a better encounter if we just go straight shot here. Which we cannot. Okay, where's the closest point we can get a lunar encounter from? Okay, that's good. That's good. But I think what I've realized is it's not as hard to do some of these things in real solar system as I thought they were, because when I started using quarter scale RSS and regular RSS and some of my other saves, I thought it was just going to be this massive jump. Granted, I'm not using RP1 or Kerbalism, anything like that, but it's still a bit different than stock. It's a new surprise for sure. Something I'm not used to, which is what I like basically the most about it, I'd say. Yeah, we're just getting our encounter with the moon planned out. See, I hate how long this engine takes to shut down. It's really annoying. But just like that, we will separate from spacecraft, get stabilize ourselves, and hopefully not have a power outage upon leaving Earth for the moon. We're actually coming out around its equator this time, unlike last time's really weird and wacky trajectory that brought us all over the place. But it's fine. It's fine. We're doing great. We're doing great now. The agency is better than ever. 600 meters per second delta V for that. That's nothing. Anyway, now just warping out to our next maneuver, which is around the moon. And the moon should be coming from that. Yep. Alright. Not kind of up on a good phase or anything, just swinging by when we can, I guess. That's all we can do. I'm so glad I decided to put RCS on this. I was actually contemplating it when in design of the last spacecraft, which is why I didn't have it. I didn't know if I'd have the ability to control the spacecraft with such fine-tunability at that time. the Spider liquid fuel engines showing their worth over the regular Vernier engines of the variety that we were going to be using. Here, we don't need a maneuver anymore. We're just gonna have our orbit descended very low. Okay, now it's a really long here. We're actually gonna reorient ourselves first so we don't lose power. Okay, see, like, yeah, like that, right? That's, okay, we're facing the sun, we're good. Okay, well, now we're just gonna wait for the good side of the moon, per se, to reach us, and that should be just around next orbit. We're unlocking it with technology, aren't we? Yep, okay, that explains it. 23 science, jeez. Oh, we finished the build of our crewed spacecraft. Wow. Descending around the moon, that's fun. Oh, come on, I just need... Okay, well, that's not a bad encounter. We can fix this. Pull ourselves down right around here. Still on the near side of the moon, so we should be fine. But we have less delta V than is substantial to land a vessel like we should. So we're gonna take just everything we've got to land this thing. Touch down on the lunar surface. So we're gonna need a lot. And we have 77 meters per second. We can change our... And yep, we are gonna hit the lunar surface incredibly hard. Well, we didn't even make anything from that, which is truly unfortunate. We should have gotten science on lunar orbit, but you know, not every mission goes according to plan, so we're just gonna have to call it a day for that mission and hope for better skies on our mission that will have us go to, well, I want to say go to Earth orbit, but it's not even that. It's hopeful Earth orbit. Don't have a launch escape system, so if something goes wrong in the atmosphere, we're relying off stage separations to disconnect ourselves from the module. I don't know if our capsule is rated for orbital descent, or, I mean, not our capsule, our parachute is what I'm concerned about, as the procedural real chute does not tend to work the best when left unconfigured, and I thought I saved some changes so it works fine in Earth, but who knows if it will work fine from orbital space. That was a simple up and down mission. Okay, so just like that, we will launch off of the pad. Very, very similar to what we saw last mission. Yeah, let's not do that. That's not a smart idea. Just stages were oriented wrong. I'm at 2 free stages in between it, so we have leeway if I accidentally do press that button. Oh god, it's so hard to see the Apple Apsis indicator over my mic. But leaving the atmosphere and getting into better space. Okay, perform an IR spectrometry. Cannot be done right. Okay, so it is a space type thing, I assume. 72, 73, 74, 70. Yep, okay. Noted. Okay, and stage set. Why are we spinning? Not against it, just it's kind of weird. Okay. And we have shutdown. Very nice. Above Earth's oceans. Okay, so this is the kind of experiment that we, okay. So we can redo this a good amount of times if we really felt like it, which is good. Not the same mission, of course, because we have no way of resetting the data, especially on this flight. But, yeah, we just have the intent of getting to orbit and going home. That's the point of this mission. Just, you know, test if orbit is something that we can do, and it is, as we have just found out. Here, let's get some screenshot type. Not screenshot type. Thumbnail worthy imagery. So like that would be good for a thumbnail. So we'll use it. Now we're gonna flip retrograde, if that's even something it'll let us do. So we'll do a crew report, and then while turning around, we'll get ready to disembark from the spacecraft with no jetpack, so we're gonna have to do a quick EVA report and reboard the spacecraft. Very, very unsafe without a tether, but it's fine. So we will just proceed as usual, and our landing will be arranged. Now, you do have a parachute, so we'll be fine in that regard, but we'd still like the mission to go well and say, hey, our parachute works even from orbit. I assume that's the piece of the rocket, but could very well be another object. No, it's a piece of the rocket, yeah. As we re-enter over equatorial Africa. Oh, we're gonna have a we might land in Lake Victoria. I'm only hoping we do, but some Firefly reentry effects showing themselves for the first time in true nature of what they represent. Yeah, the chute's dangerous to deploy. Deployment. Ugh. That was not meant to happen. No. Do we not have spares? Ugh. Hate when this happens. Deployment altitude. A lot more of an atmosphere than that. Okay, we gotta do this fast. The spacecraft. Oh, no collecting data. Okay. Well, deploying the chute is the next best thing. And we can do an EVA report while we're still here. Yeah, actually, probably also take a surface sample when we hit the ground. Eventually. Over. That's the Congo. Over the Democratic Republic of the Congo, or what's 62, so it would be the Belgian Congo, and later on Zaire. We set down on the ground, roll, get up, find ourselves a clearing, remove our helmet, and then take a surface sample. 100 science from a... That is an Earth surface sample that just gives 100 science. I thought we knew enough about African soil, but Okay. Well, next time we'll go to another continent, I guess. And see if it works the same. But, good to know. Now we have 185 science, reconditioning of the launch pad. Tech, none to unlock, so we'll go in ours and unlock more ourselves. And that will include interplanetary flybys, some off-world landings, and communications antennas that are better suited for, I'd assume, interplanetary positioning. So that just about wraps up today, but I do have one more thing to check. And we can still buy upgrade points for science. Much better. Now, we have 4, and we can put a ton into R&D. So hopefully the unlocking won't take as long, but even if it does, see you in the next video. And we will try to get a lunar satellite by 1963.